Originally, All City was meant to be a teenage series, or weekly or monthly program. I was approached by Spank TC5 and by a young woman named, I don't remember her name, but she was known as Snow White. And you know, 2 years before we had done Style Wars, I'd been working with Tony Silver on that film. And while he was a filmmaker, I was not. But the whole process of making a film intrigued me, and I thought, let me try. So I was happy to jump in with these two people to make this film. It was about to, you know, it was to be, you know, issues for youth and political things, and you know what's going on in the hip-hop world and that kind of thing. And so we started to make it, and we shot all this footage, and then it kind of petered out as a project. You know, it didn't get funded and that kind of thing. So I was left with all this footage, and I thought, you know, there's some really great stuff in here, and interviews with people like, you know, Dondi and Butch, and nobody, you know, had really interviewed Butch at all up to this point. You know, Mayor is in it, and Spank TC5 had a lot of really interesting things to say. You know, and it kind of speaks for itself as to what it means, because he says, this is history. Spank himself, this is history. You know, and he opens up my albums, which I had, this was about, what, 10 years, almost 10 years into collecting photographs of trains, and he was like, this is history, these are the coal mines, these are the coal mines, you know, which I didn't know at that time. That's what the old trains were called, the really old trains. Another friend of mine who was a graffiti writer named Spin had put together a little animated music video to Tila Rock's It's Yours. And I had seen that, and I thought it was really cool, so I used that as an element in this. And then it was really easy because what people were saying was good. You know, the interviews for this program, and Spank was a great moderator, and you know, and we got good stuff, so that was very easy to put that together. And those are all the ingredients.
Party people in the place to be. New York City is proudly present the new show that's coming on, Hip Hop New York, produced by my man Spank, Henry Chiffant, and Snow White. And we gonna do it something like this: 1 for the highs, 2 for tribulation. The beat is so fresh, so let's give a demonstration.
how you doing? My name is Spank TC5 and I'm introducing my show, Hip Hop New York, and we're live from the Bronx at Fashion Motor. I basically want to tell you right now what we all about. We all about young people and the development in the South Bronx right about now, the movement going on, graffiti, wild style, everything involved.
Yes, y'all, and I got to be fresh and rhyming over microphone with the most finesse. I'm the E in the century because I rock the mic with duplicated to see. Rhyming over microphone to be a church MC. People in the place just listen up clear. I said I have another go in this career. Since to be at the top and earn my respect. To rock each and every discotheque. My destiny is sure to come. And then the sucker MCs can try to get some. I'm not giving up and say I haven't tried like the other MCs. I have my own pride. Here's a demonstration to the rest of the nation. You better peep out my new creation. Now that's the taste of my brand new style. Cool, calm, unique, and very mild. I put a lot of hard work into my rhyme. From the past year to the present time. But look at me now because I'm on my way. When I get to the top, you know I'm going to stay. Then you know that the G is the very best. And then I have an edge over all the rest. So just listen to me rhyming. My name is not Simon. Believe what you say, it's gotta be true. When you hear me over mic, when I've been through. Other MCs try to take a lot of perfection. When I'm on the microphone, I always hit connection. My rhymes duplicated and other MCs bite on my rhymes so viciously. And when I hit with a heart, I'm right at the start, rapping over microphone, I'm the MC start. Rhyming over mic and I'm a work of art. I'm the king of the chart and I will play my part. I make a little mistakes, but that's no thing. When I come to rock the mic with the music we bring. All the others, and not my brothers. Listen to the Easy D, I am a real lover. Provided got a brother on the MIC. I'm rhyming over microphone so viciously. And you won't stop, and you won't stop. And that bop to rock. It's like a fucked up shoes, the holes in your socks. And just listen to the D about ready to rock. I'm on to the break of dawn until you won't stop rocking till everybody's gone. God master, say my mellow, my man. So when you're rhyming over mic and then be the backstand. And you don't stop, and you don't say. Just the other day, I was going downtown to see my girl. When I saw her above, he was in a different world, lying on the ground, all curled up in the bowl of clothes that were full of holes.
Like a couple of years back, you look at graffiti and this whole hip-hop culture stuff and people, you know, it wasn't organized the way it's organized now. Now you walk down the street and you see kids, you know, breakdancing like they see it in the movies. You have graffiti in movies, you got breakdancing in movies, you got posters on the trains about breakdancers, you got, I mean, albums of rappers and, I mean, you know, like this whole hip-hop culture, the subculture of the ghettos becomes something big. A lot of people that are watching this show don't know what graffiti, you know, is about. They think graffiti is like a kid vandalizing the subway. The energy coming from this whole hip-hop culture, it's not negative, it's positive. It's helped a lot of kids, you know, from living in the streets and just hanging around and fooling around with drugs, you know, giving them something to do with their time, something good, something constructive.
You know, there's a lot of hard work in what we do. Some people look at graffiti very negative, but, you know, really trying to make it positive. We're doing things like canvases and we're doing fashion. You know, we're doing graffiti on clothes and stuff like that. And plus we're really doing a lot of things for our community too. Like, you know, we're painting gates, painting murals around, really beautifying parks and things like that.
Now, graffiti, you know, to be the graffiti is to try to be your best and do your best, because when you walk down the street, you want to feel like, hey, yo, I'm Brim, you know, and I'm fresh, and I did something good. You know, I didn't do a whack piece, I did a fresh piece, you know, and you want to dress nice, and, you know, it's like, you might not live in the best neighborhood, you might you know, you might live in, like, the other day I was walking through my neighborhood and I was looking abandoned buildings and, you know, rats and roaches and junkies, you know, and all that. And, you know, you might not live in, you know, the best neighborhood, but if you do something, man, you feel like you right up there with everybody else, man. You feel like, hey, I could do this, and you can't do that, you know. And you have self-respect, you know, self-esteem, and you're number one, you know. And this is what it is, you know. This is what this whole thing is about, man. You know, it's to be number one in the ghetto.
Just the other day I went shopping for clothes when I first realized the fast money goes. Walked out the door, Disco Richie just froze, singing to myself a fast money goes. It took so long for me to collect it, but it didn't take long and off the wreck it. $50 tickets, a suit made of leather, a goose down farmer to wear in cold weather. Reached in my pocket, couldn't pay so fast, spent all my money to buy fresh gas. I just got paid and I got no money. It might sound sad, but it sure ain't funny. Words, yo, be that man. Damn. 18 years old, you think you're grown, you told your parents you're ready to leave their home. You met a girl and you had a son. That's where your problems just begun. Didn't know being independent was so tough. Working 2 jobs still ain't bringing enough. The money you save is no longer there, so you told your girl to get on welfare. Got bills to pay, you're in a 2 months back. No cash to put gas in your Cadillac. And now you're sorry for what you done. You don't wanna be a mama, you wanna be a son. Money goes. Money goes. Wow, Mike, things ain't like
This is Dondi, CIA to my left, and I have Butch 2 to the left.
Partners.
These are writers and originators.
We go far back, me and Donnie, back to the 70s, early 70s and whatnot. You know, everybody have their own identity, and it's graffiti that brought us together from, like, everything is all subculture, but everybody have from their own neighborhood. Like, I'm from way uptown, Donnie might be from downtown, but through writing, we seem like we're from the same neighborhood, more or less. You
Well,
know?
to break that down, you from the Boogie Down Bronx, and
Yeah.
Donnie's from East New York, Brooklyn. So that's a long way apart. So these trains got us all together. I like to say that right here.
Trains make it seem like we all off the same block.
Yeah.
You know, we watch the same line, just on
Like,
different stations.
They just go all the way to the end, you know. And the number 2 and 5, they go far, boy.
So
They
everything
hit all
runs
parts of New York.
Word, much people get to check it.
Yeah, you did them. Y'all was doing them trains. Y'all made everybody happy.
Yeah.
Everybody in my block was happy when the train passed by. I'll tell you something about New York City. It generates graffiti artists.
Yeah.
I mean, from brother to brother.
We got
I mean, you pass it on to your brother, his cousin passes it on to his cousin. I mean, style is spread all over the city. And that's what makes New York one of the best cities in the world. It has so much style.
I just got finished coming back from California, where I was doing fashions there, and graffiti fashions is actually what I was doing out there. And you know, you can get in things like doing advertisement. You know, I see better things in the future, and you know, people like you, Spank, is actually, you know, helping promote the art and showing people what it is. And you know, it's a privilege being on the show
good.
and to talk about things that are going on.
Thank you.
Another
I
thing
feel that it's a great art, you know, and it's got a lot of energy behind it. And we are young people just making our future be known, telling it all to you live.
That's how it is, and I want to just like go on beyond graffiti into like G2 said, he's doing fashion design. I'm also doing that, having a show this Thursday with fashion design. And other than doing that, you know, I got myself through high school and into a private art college, which is, you know, respectable, very respectable for graffiti artists. Whereas for, you know, I see like some graffiti artists, you know, they got so involved with the negative part of graffiti that they're going nowhere fast. You know, they're not thinking about painting canvas, what they can do with graffiti. You know, just thinking, yeah, crossing out and, you know, doing insides of the train, which is just ridiculous. Graffiti's beyond that. It's all about all this that's in here. Colors, you know, wild style, top to bottoms.
Taking it back.
That's right.
To
All
the
this
coal
is here.
mines. To
is
the
all
coal
here.
mines. It's all
is
right here.
history.
This is knowledge. Knowledge. This is the book of knowledge. Let it be known. This is the book of knowledge.
electric boogie is basically isolation of the body. It's sort of like doing the robot and miming at the same time. So what you're doing is you're trying to explain a move that you're doing with your whole body into it, but without the object. Just serves the same purpose as miming. And plus you're adding in what we call a pop. A pop is just like a quick stop. So you have a lot of ways of popping. You can either pop with this, you know, with your muscles. You strain your muscles. You keep them tense and it automatically like stops. Or you can pop with a shoulder. That's called a shoulder pop. So what you're doing is when you throw your shoulder pop, you stop. And it looks just like, you know, you're hitting an object. And then there's a body pop. Now body pop, you use your legs and your body and your arms, and you tense your muscles and it, you know, stop. It's sort of like a robotic, you know, move. These are Egyptian moves. And bring it out. Bring it around that way. When you swing it around like that. They have to go the same way. Now bring it back. Now they face each other. And you bring it in like this. Switch hands. With each motion you do, you add the pop. That's what electric boogie is all about, popping. Popping started in California as the robot, and they added more into it. And out there it was called a pop, but when it got to New York, we called it electric boogie because we add more motion to it, and we move our whole body at the same time. You know, so that's how we got his name out here. Sort of like an electrical current going through your body. Like a move you might have seen me do when I take a light bulb out, I stick my finger in it, and all of a sudden I start shaking.
So what